Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a Kickstarter called 40 Winks, a new Nintendo 64 game. Let's get started. I'd planned on doing a video a little earlier on in this Kickstarter campaign. However, I'll be honest, I completely forgot about it. So I do apologize there. There are 5 days left if you are interested in backing this game. So at first glance, this thing has absolutely crushed its Kickstarter goal. They planned on raising $25,770. That is a very small number in comparison to what they've actually raised so far. So they've raised $154,148 Canadian. There are 1,489 backers and 5 days to go. So there's not a lot of time left. This thing has absolutely crushed its initial goal. So the health of this Kickstarter is pretty good. Piko Interactive also did a few other games. I did a video on those. One of them was Iron Commando, a re-release for the Super Nintendo. If you've heard of this game before, don't be surprised. This game was officially released for the PlayStation back in 1999. Scrolling down here a little bit, there is a backstory. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll paraphrase it for you. So basically, this game was being developed by GT Interactive. GT Interactive was going bust and ended up being sold. Now, during the takeover, some of the things that GT Interactive was working on never made it to the light of day. The 40 Winks port for the Nintendo 64 was one of those things that never made it to the light of day. And now Piko Interactive has their hands on the title and they want to release it to the public. There is information about the game. Now, if you're curious about the game, I highly recommend checking out another YouTube video that has 40 Winks PS1 gameplay, because I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that the N64 gameplay is going to be extremely similar. So a few neat little facts about this. It says 40 Winks will be the very first Nintendo 64 game released after the console was discontinued by Nintendo. There has not been any other homebrew, indie, or unreleased game produced officially since then. Moving right along into these stretch goals, they've already crushed a lot of these. $60,000 was the 40 Winks controller. So it looks like a third-party controller with the 40 Winks logo printed on it. $100,000 was the Rough or Tumble 8-inch plush. $125,000 is the OST, and $200,000 is the 40 Winks Dreamcast edition. That's interesting, so they will port it to the Dreamcast as well. Now, I'm not sure if the $200,000 goal is going to be met, so don't get your hopes up that you will see a Dreamcast port, considering there are only 5 days left in this Kickstarter. Scrolling down into the risks and challenges section, mainly the any risk, I think that's a typo, or challenge that we would encounter is the time frame, even though we calculate a certain time frame for production and fulfillment. We have to depend on third parties to produce everything. So the worst case scenario, if funded, 40 Winks could see minor delays in the fulfillment of the rewards, but nevertheless, the rewards will be fulfilled. So it looks like they're extremely confident about this succeeding, which I completely understand. Let's go over to the tiers now. All right, so looking at the tiers, the pledge $1 or more gets you the title of contributor, so just a thank you. $8 or more gets you a digital PC version of 40 Winks when it's available on Steam. So it's not just coming out for the Nintendo 64, but also Steam. So if you just want to play this game for the sake of playing it, $8 will get you a copy on Steam, which is, I'd say, a pretty fair deal. $30 gets you the 40 Winks N64 controller, and that's the early bird. If I scroll down, 40 Winks N64 controller regular price is $40. So there are 25 spots left for the early bird to get it at 30. If you missed that, it is $40 for the controller. Also for $40 is the 40 Winks cartridge only. So that is the gray cartridge with no box or anything. If you want the box, you have to pay $55. If you want the special edition, you have to pay $100. For $150, you get both the N64 player and N64 collector tiers, which is the complete in box gray version and the complete in box special edition version. So in regards to tiers here, I'm actually pretty happy with the way everything's laid out. They're all reasonably priced and there's something for everyone here. There is one tier missing, and I think it might have been good if they had a tier that also included the controller and the game. So if you wanted the game and the controller, have it in one tier, maybe save a couple bucks. That being said, there's something for everyone. I mean, the hardcore collector can get both copies, the regular and special edition, for 150 bucks, all the way down to the player who just wants to play the game, and that is $8 on Steam, which is a very attractive tier. And if we look at the popularity of these tiers, a lot of people are going for the Steam version. However, nobody is going just for the cartridge and that's it. Everyone is at least going, the most people actually are going for the gray complete in box version. And that is followed by the special edition and then the Steam, rounding out the top three. So the gray collector's edition is number 1. Number 2 is the special complete in box edition. And number 3 is the $8 Steam key. And if you're curious on how this game rated back in the day, I've pulled up 2 ratings on this game. So here, 40 Winks review. 40 Winks might be a good purchase for a parent with a 6 to 10-year-old who's just starting to play video games. But other than that, anyone looking for a quality platformer should look elsewhere. And this is by GameSpot, June 13th, 2000. And it got a 4.1 out of 10. And the majority of 176 ratings gave it a 5.9 out of 10. If we flip over to IGN, the review was December 22nd, 1999. And the review it got was 5.5. So my overall thoughts, I think the tiers are relatively well priced. I think the $8 Steam tier is very attractive if you just want to play the game. From a collector standpoint, 55 bucks for a complete in-box brand new N64 game isn't too bad at all. Yes, the game wasn't very well reviewed back in the day. However, if you are curious, you can always check out the PS1 gameplay on YouTube and see for yourself. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Let me know what you think about 40 Winks in the comments below. Anyways, thank you everyone. Take care.